Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. Hopefully my voice sounds so much better. Honestly, my ears are so plugged. I feel pretty good, but there's just certain things going on. I'm still coughing a little bit, still a little sniffly, and my ears are so clogged I can't really hear myself. So I sound muffled, but hopefully when I hear myself, I sound muffled, but hopefully on the podcast, I'm sounding okay. But regardless, I am going to be talking to you today basically about the importance of fitting fitness into your life and not the other way around. And I'm going to kind of talk about how to do that, what that looks like, my past experience, why a lot of people, come to me thinking that they can't do something, or just a variety of things, I guess. But the roundabout topic, I guess, is going to be, the importance of how to fit fitness into your life instead of trying to make your life revolve around fitness, or even, try to reschedule everything and dreading everything you do because you're so focused on your fitness journey, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited because this is something that I have honestly mastered. It may take me a little bit of time, when there's like a season change or a life change or something, to get into my groove, but I'm very good at auto-correcting and, taking inventory of what things look like and how can I adjust my schedule or my food to kind of make that work. A perfect example of that was when I've been sick for 10, 11 days now, and I had to cut back on my food, my calories a little bit, because I wasn't able to work out at all, really. And the workouts that I did do were like so half-assed. I mean, they were just stretching or a little bit of weightlifting, but I couldn't get my heart rate up. I couldn't really be out of breath at all because then I would start coughing. So it's been a mess. And so I was kind of thinking about this, honestly, while I was sick, and I'm so proud of myself. I have to just say, I'm so fucking proud of myself for how I've handled this sickness. And it's just because I just see my confidence in my fitness journey shining through. It really sucked to be sick, and it really sucked to not work out. It sucks to miss workouts. It sucks to not feel good. It sucks to be off track at all in life. But in regards to your fitness journey, it sucks. But I was so good at I can't really walk. I can't, because I couldn't get out of breath literally, or I would just hack up a lung and it hurt so bad and then I would cry. I couldn't work out. I was super tired. I didn't feel good. My appetite stuck with me the whole time. So thank God I was able to hit my macros. But then one day I'm like, you need to start eating less if you're going to be moving less. That's why you're feeling a little bit heavier, bloated, and all the things. So I cut back. I adjusted so well to being sick physically that I'm coming out of it now, and I haven't lost any ground. I haven't lost any momentum. I feel good. I'm good to go. I did what I could, and I think that's awesome. And during that, I was besides being super proud of myself and man, I wish all of my clients could feel this way. I hope all of my clients get to the point in their journey where they can just autocorrect and feel so confident that their body is fine, that they can give it the rest and they'll be okay on the other side of missing a ton of workouts, right? But as much as I want that for everyone, I need to explain how that works. So I was still able to fit fitness and health, nutrition, macros, any kind of movement that I could actually get in. I was pretty good with my self-care. I got my sleep. I actually upped my game and was doing my gua sha and my lymphatic drainage situation every single night. And that helped me. Actually, my skin is looking really good. So there were a lot of things that I was still able to do as far as if you're looking at health and fitness as a whole, right? So my self-care, my skincare, my reading, my water, my sleep, I could do so many things even though I was sick. And a lot of times it's like, well, if I can't work out, then I might as well eat like shit. And then now I'm sleeping like shit. And now I'm not drinking water. And it like all falls apart. And it doesn't have to be like that. You can just control what you can and do what you can. And that's a perfect example of fitting fitness and health into your life no matter what, and not trying to fit it the other way around. So the most common reason, I should say, that people quit a fitness routine is because lack of time. I'm too busy. I can't make this work. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to meal plan. I don't have time to work out. This is too much. It's not working for me. I can't go to the gym, whatever, right? Like you don't have time to either figure out how to make it work, or you literally don't have time to do the 5 to 7 workouts a week or 2-hour workout sessions that you're supposed to do, right? Which ultimately means you couldn't figure out how to fit fitness into your life. If you don't have time and you can't figure out how to make time, then you can't figure out how to fit it into your life. And it's important that you do that. So, which means you've probably tried a one-size-fits-all program that your schedule didn't accommodate for. And that's fine, because there's a lot of programs out there that are one-size-fits-all. Mine are even like, my Shred program, for example, or different programs that I've had in the past are set up as a, 12-week interval, and they're 5 days a week, and, they're structured, but like, please move the workouts to different days. Please take a day off if you need to, like, make it work for you. And I think that it's just so important that you find a way to modify a program or modify, whatever you're thinking your fitness routine has to look like. You have to be able to change that, go against the grain or whatever, and make it work for you, because your schedule is not accommodating these one size fits all. And then you're like, oh, I can't do that. Or I tried that program. It doesn't work for me. I can't find time for it. I'm too busy. I'm too stressed. I'm too whatever. And it's like, you're not. You're just trying to do more than you need to, or more than you literally can. And that's okay. So what that looks like on the opposite side of like trying to make your life revolve around fitness is, you think, you start a fitness journey and you're like, okay, I've got 12 weeks. I'm going to get up earlier and I'm going to work out, Monday through Friday. And I'm going to take time on the weekends to meal prep and meal plan and, do all these things, right? You've got all these goals and you can do it. You can do it. Even for 12 weeks, you can make it work. Well, eventually you get tired, or eventually something comes up, or you get sick and you're just like, I'm actually sick of meal prep. Like, I don't want to take 3 hours on the weekend to prep and plan my meals. Like, that's just not working. You think you'll, quote unquote, make it work. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. This is what I have to do, to lose weight or whatever your goal is. And usually that just doesn't happen. You end up not just making it work because it's not convenient. And I did this too. When I first started out, we were doing our P90X Beachbody program, and I was able to stick with that program spot on for a month. I think I say spot on. I'm pretty sure that it was spot on, because I was like, I'll make it work. I'll meal prep. I'll meal plan. I'll separate all the stuff out. I'll read the list. I'll check the labels. I'll do every single workout, right? It's only 90 days. I can do this. And I did it for a month. And then I realized something had to give. I can't, and I think it was 5 to 6. I think it was more than 5 workouts per week, but I'm not positive. I'll say 5. I don't know. I think it was more than that. But anyway, I stuck to it pretty closely, but I definitely started to slack after that. And at first, like I said, I was doing, we'll say 5 workouts a week. And I had a 6-month-old and an almost 3-year-old at that time. Is that right? Yeah. Almost 6-month-old and an almost 3-year-old at that time. So little kids. And I just couldn't do it. So eventually I quit the yoga. So I liked the weightlifting workouts, and I quit the yoga day because I didn't enjoy it. And I was like, no, I need to go to sleep. And then I also quit planning and prepping, since I didn't really enjoy that. I still stuck to the food list and everything that, Beachbody gave me for that program, but I quit planning and I quit prepping because I didn't enjoy that and I didn't have time. So slowly things started dwindling from what I was supposed to be doing, right? So what I noticed was, because I'm very good at like, well, what's wrong? What's happening? What can I change? And what I noticed was that I didn't mind doing the weightlifting workouts, so I kept doing those. I didn't like the yoga, so I quit. Am I saying you should do that? No, that's just what I did. I'm like, well, Wednesday's yoga day was an hour and a half. Oh my God. So quickly that was like, well, we'll just take that off the to-do list for the week. And I didn't have a problem, like I said, with the nutrition or, hitting all the checked boxes, I guess, for the day. At that point, it wasn't really macros, but I didn't have a problem eating what I was supposed to be eating. My problem was that I didn't like prepping and planning, and I didn't have the time for it. I had little kids. I was traveling, out of town to work, and I was working all day, and like, real life stuff. Like I didn't have time for it. So something had to give, and those were the things that gave. And what I noticed was I gave up the things that I didn't enjoy doing. I didn't have a problem hitting the foods I was supposed to hit. I just didn't want to prep and plan for it. I can do it. I'll get it in by the end of the day. Somehow I'll make it work. I'm still like that, to be honest. And I'll do the weightlifting workouts, but I'm not doing that stupid hour and a half yoga. Like I'm not doing that. So I didn't quit altogether. I modified it to make it work. Once I realized what I could stick to, it was smooth sailing. And then from there on out, basically, that's when I realized that I loved weightlifting. That's when I realized like I didn't really have a problem hitting protein and hitting my carbs and fats. It's just that I didn't want to prep and plan. And I haven't really done yoga, and I haven't really planned and prepped my meals since then. It's just, that's what fucking works for me. And that's what I'm going to do. I don't rip on people for doing the other thing. I don't rip on people for doing cardio. I don't rip on people for planning and prepping. In fact, I teach my ladies to do those things. If they love yoga, we incorporate it. If they love meal prepping and planning and they love recipes and they love that stuff, I give them sites to go to figure that out. But I am not your girl. I will tell you that that'll work for you if that's the kind of personality you have. We'll work with that. And it's not that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. So, and that's what I want you to hear. It's not that something doesn't work. It's that it doesn't work for you. And you have to figure out what works for you in the stage of life that you're in. So I have a lot of ladies come to me saying they want to start a fitness program, but they're a brand new mom and they're sleep deprived and they don't eat right and they don't have help, throughout the day. Their significant other is at work and they're home with the baby and they just don't have time. Or it can just be in general, like I've tried these programs that are 5 days a week and they've never worked for me in the past, but I really want to try yours and I really think it'll work for me. And I'm like, no, it won't. Like, don't do it. You have to modify it. It won't just automatically work this time. Like, that's not how it happens. You can't just not have any time in your schedule and then sign up for a program and then all of a sudden you have all this ambition to wake up early and find time to work out 5 days a week. It's not going to work. I'm just being honest, and I'll be honest with you if you come to me and say that, like, well, these programs never work for me, but I'm going to try this one and hope that it works, because I don't want to be another program that you purchase that you didn't do and that didn't work for you. Like, I'm just going to be straight up and tell you, yeah, sign up for the program if you want to, and I'll help you modify it and tell you which workouts every week to take out. Like, if you can only do 3 workouts a week, I'll tell you which 3 workouts a week to do from that program. But I'm going to be honest and say, if you don't have time to work out 5 days a week, don't try to work out 5 days a week. And I honestly used to be the person that's like, no, you do have time. You're just not finding it. You're making an excuse or whatever. But now I realize that some people just literally don't have time or won't make the time. And honestly, who cares? If you only want to make time 3 days a week to work out, do 3 full body workouts a week, push hard, know exactly what you're doing in those workouts, work out with purpose, and hit your macros, and you're good. Like, that's fine. You can do that. So it's just making fitness fit into your life and not the other way around. It's so important that your health and fitness routine fit seamlessly into your life. Otherwise, it feels like work, and there's nothing wrong with hard work. Like, let's be honest. It takes hard work to do hard things. Like, hard work is great. But in reality, are you going to do that weekly for the rest of your life? Was I going to do an hour and a half yoga session every Wednesday plus 4 or 5 more weightlifting sessions plus meal prep and meal plan and put it all in portion control containers and take it with me to work in my cooler? Was I going to do that for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. So what I shouldn't have had any shame. I don't think I did. Maybe I did for a little while since I was a Beachbody coach. So I probably felt like the outsider, but at the same time, I'm like, this doesn't work for me. So why would I do it? Like, this other stuff works for me. And as I went on with it, I've now have the best body I've ever had. So clearly I don't need to do all those other things. We'll get into that in a minute. But otherwise it feels like work. And if it always feels like work, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to look forward to it, and you're going to quit. And that's just the reality. And it is what it is. I think a lot of people would argue with me like, no, it does take hard work and you have to just grit through and you have to do the hard things, right? And never miss a Monday and all that shit. And it's like, no, no, I'm not taking part in that. So you have to take your schedule. You have to figure out what will work for you. You have to modify the programs that are out there for your accessibility and change them if it doesn't fit your schedule. If you don't understand weightlifting or macros and you're first starting out a program, I suggest learning one at a time. Understand your workouts first and get really good at those workouts, and you're understanding and you're showing up with purpose and you're lifting and you're enjoying them and it's a habit. Then start to work on understanding macros and foods and making that a habit, right? If you only have 3 days a week to work out, only work out 3 days. Don't sign up for 5 days if you can only show up for 3. Just don't. It's better that you don't lie to yourself and feel like a failure. It's also better because you'll know exactly what workouts to do to make those 3 days count. And that's so much better in the long run. If you have little babies that are home with you all day and you can only work out the 3 evenings or nights a week when you have someone there to help you, do that. Don't say I'm going to get up at 4:30 in the morning to work out when you have a 6-month-old who doesn't sleep. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. So do what you can. If you don't like meal prepping and meal planning, don't do it. Eat prepackaged chicken. Eat the rotisserie chicken that someone strips off of the bone and puts in a container for you. Eat prepackaged veggies. Hire a meal service to deliver food to your door. Like, figure it out and do whatever you have to do, and don't be ashamed. Like, I'm always giving out permission slips, I feel like here's your permission to do less, to make it work, to go against what everyone else is saying, right? It's okay to not do things like everyone else is doing around you. If everyone else is joining whatever fitness thing is out there right now, right? Like Weight Watchers, or I don't even know if that's still a thing, but like all your friends are like signing up for Weight Watchers or CrossFit or whatever there is right now, then, and that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Don't do it. When you try to make your journey look like someone else's, or you try to make something work that simply can't, or you don't enjoy, you will quit every time. I see constantly on social media, particularly Instagram, because that's where I am a lot for work, these girls that are like, have their perfect morning routines, or at least they're posting that they do. They have their perfect night routine, perfect skincare routine, perfect meal prep, perfect workouts, perfect fucking everything. And I'm like, good for you. That's amazing. Not for me. Block by. I can't do that. That's not going to work for me, right? So it's okay to go against the grain there. So how do you actually do this? Like I mentioned a minute ago, you have to take a look at your calendar. You literally have to see what your week looks like. Lay it all out there and be brutally honest with yourself. What are some things you can give up? What are some things in your week that you're doing that are like not serving you, that you don't enjoy, that you don't have to do, right? What days work for you to actually get a workout in? AKA, what days do you have a little free time right now? Not what days can you make time. What days do you have time? Is it on the weekend? If you can only work out Saturday and Sunday right now, cool. Start with that, right? What days work for you to get some things done in your health and fitness journey? Then and only then schedule some workouts in. Schedule in some meals out, even schedule dinner out if you have to. Schedule in some food prep if you want to. Schedule in what days you're going to pick up your groceries and you're going to bring them home and you're going to chop all the veggies and maybe cook all the meat. But don't schedule workouts and then schedule everything else around it. It won't work. Your life won't fit into your workout routine. Trust me. You have to make your workout routine fit your life. And if that means starting smaller, then so be it, right? For me, this looks like missing every single Monday. It's like that saying that I just said, that never miss a Monday. I miss every Monday for my workouts because I'm able to work out Saturday and Sunday. Those are days that I can almost always find time. Even, well, when we had like travel baseball and stuff, that was different. But on a normal, quote unquote, normal week for me, Saturdays and Sundays are pretty chill. My kids are in high school, so we have games during the week, sports events, stuff like that during the week. Saturday and Sunday, I'm off. So I work out Saturday, Sunday. I take Monday off as a rest day to recover, to have my muscle grow, right? So Monday, I'm resting. Then I work out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have Friday off because honestly, who doesn't want a Friday off? That's amazing. So that's what my schedule looks like. Honestly, this will probably change with sports coming up. I don't remember what sport it is exactly. We just finished up volleyball, which is a whole thing that I could get into with my daughter being a senior. And like we literally finished volleyball, as in no more school volleyball for my daughter ever, which is surreal. But anyway, a lot of times we have super late games on Thursday nights. And that's why I think I actually also started taking Fridays off, was because we were out super late on Thursdays. If we have an away game or something, we're not getting home till 10 by the time we get home and all get wound down and did homework or food or whatever, clean up the dishes, clean up the kitchen, whatever you're doing when you get home, mamas, dads, whatever. By the time I got to bed, I was like, I'm not getting up early in the morning. So this might change for me, just being honest, like this will always change. What works for you 2 years ago will not work for you now most of the time. And so it always changes. So I will, when I get schedule coming up for my son, for his sports, I will look ahead and see what nights games are on, and I will change my schedule if necessary. And there's a good chance that I will have to do that. So whatever night we're out late on, I will not work out the next morning, because if I schedule a workout there and I don't do it, I feel like a failure, right? I'm not going to make my life fit. I'm going to make my workouts fit. So that's a prime example of that. I'm used to that, and that's what it looks like. So this will change just about the time you get really used to a schedule and it's working for you. Sports will change, school will change, life will change, and you're like, well, that's not really working anymore. I have to change it again, right? So also know that's another reason why it's so important, because if you're just trying to work out Monday through Friday for the rest of your life, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Life changes, you change, your body changes, your goals change, shit changes, and you have to be able to change with it. I think in health and fitness, it's not talked about enough. The amount of flexibility you have to have, the amount of times your journey will change and you will have to change with it. That's not talked about enough, because that's one of the biggest things is like, well, this used to work for me and now it's not. This workout program I used to be able to do it and fit it into my life. I used to be able to stay up late and get my workouts done. I used to be able to get up super early and get my workouts done. And if you can't, then stop trying to do it because it's not working. So something else has to give, right? So that's kind of the general idea of fitting your fitness into your life and not the other way around. That's how to do it. I know it's not that extravagant. It's not very sexy. You literally just get out a calendar and write down your life. What does it actually look like? Because sometimes when you write it down, you're like, oh, this is a lot of stuff that I could not be doing. Or you look at it and you're like, no freaking wonder I can't fit in workouts. I'm actually busier than I thought, right? So seeing it all on paper is actually really, really helpful. And then scheduling things inside of there. Figure out what you're able to do and what you're not able to do, what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. That's important too. I'm not willing to, honestly, meal plan and meal prep my little heart out. We did that for years, and I don't remember if I had this conversation with my husband or if it was just in my head, but I was like, I'm sick of spending my Saturdays and Sundays in the kitchen, meal prepping food, cooking everything, chopping it up, putting it in containers, and then quite frankly, not even hardly eating it during the week because I'm like, I'm sick of this food. I don't even want it anyway. I'm sick of not spending time with my family, doing things I enjoy, and spending time on meal prepping and planning when I can go to the store, spend a little bit more money. Yes, you're either spending time or you're spending money. Choose your heart, right? I choose to spend a little bit more money. If you choose to spend time and you enjoy that, more power to you. But for me, it wasn't working. I would sit down with a pack of Oreos before I would meal prep chicken. And I got sick of fighting myself on it. And I'm like, okay, nope, I'm buying the chicken pre-cooked, pre-shredded, done. Bam. Good. Like, just figure out what that looks like for you. If this is hard, and it is hard to do this on your own because a lot of times you overestimate, you're too hard on yourself. If it's hard for you to figure out a routine that works, do that. First of all, write it all on a calendar and get it all out there and look at it. If it's still hard for you and you're not understanding it, ask a friend. Hire someone to help you. Like, get someone in your corner that you can say, like, I am really struggling with how to set up my workouts. If I can only work out 2 to 3 days a week, what workout should I be doing, right? Should I be maybe getting in some extra walks at work around the building? Like, what are some ways I walk through this with my one-on-one clients all the time. If they ask me, like, what are some ways I can up my movement? Do I need to get a walking treadmill at my desk? Do I need to take more breaks and take some phone calls away from my desk and walk around the building? Do I need to take a nightly just 20-minute walk? I mean, there are so many different ways that you're not maybe thinking about how you can get movement in that I can help. Or do we need to just switch your macros to account for your movement? Like, there's so many different ways that you can auto-correct this that, again, just to make it fit into your life and not the other way around. So my hope for you after hearing this episode is that you know that just because something hasn't worked for you in the past doesn't mean that you should give up altogether. Keep trying, start small, start with less and work your way up. Think positive. Know that I haven't worked out in 2 freaking weeks pretty much, and I'm fine. Like, I'm auto-correcting through that. And there is a way to, I say auto-correct a lot, but there is a way to change it all and autocorrect your way through the life transitions. And honestly, the fact that I've been doing this since my son was 6 months old and he's now almost 15 and a half. So 15 years I've been doing this. I mean, just imagine all of the times that I have auto-corrected my own life. Like, I have changed my routine. I have changed my goals. I have changed everything. And when I say everything, I'm not exaggerating. I have changed everything about my health and fitness journey back and forth, over and over. It's very simple for me to hear a story that you have, or the situation that you have, or the story you're telling yourself, or the excuses, or the reasons, whatever, right? It's very easy for me to hear what someone tells me and know exactly how to change it, or what to do better, or what to sneak in, because I've done it all. So I'm here for it. If you have any questions about this, feel free as always to shoot me a DM. I love hearing from you on Instagram, and I'm always up for some conversation on health and fitness, and I'm always trying to answer your questions the best I can over there. Also, I'd love it if you did send me a DM, just because I love sharing that and getting the word out there about the podcast. I would love if you took a screenshot of your screen on your phone right now that you're listening to this podcast on, share it on your social media and tag me. And if you could leave a rating and review on the podcast, that would mean the world to me as well. Thank you for being here and listening, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And
And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.